All right, so you can see the cutout for this new machine. I just put the MDF on the top of this table. I took the Formica, so anybody who's ever been to the shop knew how shitty that Formica was. So we took the Formica off, I redecked it, and I also actually had to cut this out again. This cutout is the same width or length as 48 inches. The width of the machine table is 21 1/4. I actually made this 21 1/4 inches. I should have gave myself another 1/4 of an inch, but it is what it is. Obviously, I've welded this table together, but I'll show you the wooden ones. You can build the exact same thing with the wood ones. So 21 1/4 inches wide, but here's the important number. From this edge of the table over, this is set at 20 3/4 of an inch. Remember, we need that 1.5 inches that are next to us up to the needle of the machine. So there's that. Then this backs up. That's 24.5 inches. And then the cutout here is 27 inches. So there's your numbers for the cutout sizes. So this is a K leg. That's an H leg. I made sure to reorder K legs. I like these better. This is not in the way as much as that side down there is. So as far as it holding the table, they're fine. I don't like that big square thing. When I get in and out of the machine all the time, it likes to trip me up. Of course, I'm just not used to it, but I've ordered these K legs, so let's show you how to put together a K leg. All right, so these things come in a pack of 2. Obviously, I've already put a couple of them together. And I think that these guys came in one box because I bought 4 machines, but nonetheless, they're, so you get, yeah, they're definitely, I think if you're ordering just one, they will break this out, but these are the arms. These are the arms that control the treadle to the motor. We won't be using those because the new sewing head has longer arms that we will be using. You got a bag of bolts, a couple of, let's see, these guys, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. This is for a second one. You get your treadle. And then 2 legs. So slide these out of the way here. So I just polyurethaned my table this morning. I thought it was dry, but I'm already scuffing the shit out of it. So I don't know exactly. This section of this table is what I tend to do all of my hobby working and building stuff and setting stuff. When I load shit, it all gets put right here. I might wind up finding something else to put just right here on the back of this table. But the other observation that I had, this bag of nuts and bolts is, I think, pretty universal. There's a lot of it we're not going to be using, but these square pieces, we are going to use those. We're using the big round washers, looks like about 1 1/4 ones. The big bolts, there should be 4 of those. There's going to be 4 of these medium-sized bolts and 4 bolts for the treadle. So the last pack, I think what happens is they weigh this stuff. And that's how it gets, it's like there's a big dump, right? And then they go, and they dump this shit out and they weigh it. So I don't think somebody's actually counting. The last ones that I did, I obviously didn't have, or not obviously for you, but I did not have enough hardware. It was shy. Like I needed 4 bolts and there was 3, or I needed 4 nuts and there was 3. So this one actually does seem like it's kind of coming out with all the 4s. These I know we don't need. These rubber, these little white plastic inserts, they go in these little triangles, and that's what's going to hold the treadle right there. So let's start with, let me move this stuff out of the way here for a second. Oh, so I've got a, let's see, I've got a 3/4 inch, no, I'm sorry, it's metric. So I've got a 22 millimeter that adjusts the height of the table. 22 millimeter, a 17 millimeter, and a 14 millimeter. So try to get septic or metric if you can. Septic, that's about the same term, septic or metric. Try to get metric if you can. If you can't, use the universal. But there's a lot of fasteners and hardware and stuff. Like these little screws, these are made for putting the table on, the tabletop on. Useless. So I'm going to pull out some better hardware, honestly, to put this thing together. And I did get out a couple of washers too. So there's these, I don't know what the millimeter is. It looks to me like about a 3/8 inch washer. These things are really thin and they're really chintzy, and they're used to go on here. So I've been upgrading a little bit of the hardware, which is not really that big of a deal. But so if I flip this around, obviously this is going to be the back. Take this long skinny plate, and we are going to put, see those go. So it did come with those lock washers, go up there for that. Yeah, I thought there was lock washers on this, but apparently not. So it's the medium size. There's small, medium, and large, right? So take the medium size. If this stuff was standard, I'd be able to tell you what the sizes were, but I don't know what they are metric. And this is a 17 millimeter. Okay, and now the table's to me. This is the front of the sewing machine. Here's the bottom piece on here. So this is gonna be, you can change this how you see fit for your fit of the machine. If you're taller, it goes further away. If you're shorter, it comes closer to you. And also then the treadle plate. The treadle plate can be also adjusted in multiple different angles on here. So it you can move it around to see how you like it to fit. I have already found out that if these are basically squares, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares of them. I'm coming to the second set of squares and putting the first bracket on. And then I need to kind of leave that adjustable a little bit so that I can put this in here. Put the other one on it. There, that gives me enough room. And I believe this is the 14 millimeter, it is. All right. So the other thing too now is there's 2 slots cut on the bottom of this thing. There's 3 holes that are drilled out on the bottom of this. I am going to I'm only going to use 1 bolt. Instead of using 2 bolts on the bottom of this, I'm only going to use 1 bolt. Technically, I should have another hole drilled right in the center of this thing for where I like that treadle. I like that. I'm used to the treadle being right in the middle of the frame for where I'm sitting, and it just won't do that. It's either too close or too far away, so it's not a big deal, right? You can do it however you'd like, but the important thing is that the treadle piece does go on the bottom of this frame, and I'm going to put okay, all right, flip this back like this, put this one on as well. And this is a 17. Just snug. It doesn't. Don't go too much because you can definitely bend. All right. So now on the side. So that's done for me. That's where I want it to be set. You'll have to play with yours to see where you want to set yours. Now the top of this thing, I'm taking one of the big bolts, the big 21 millimeters, and because we need to be able to raise this table up as high as we can. So the bolt goes on, and then the square washer. And the hole is offset on this thing. What that's meant to do is, so you put the prongs out so that the nut can go in there, and then you can tighten and loosen this whole thing from the outside. You don't have to have a wrench on the inside of it. Just snugging it down. There you are, okay. All right, so then that's it. That's the assembly. The table's going to get screwed on. They give you, these look like grade 8 bolts because of the color of them, but I don't know. I'm going to change these out. These are number 8s. I'm going to, they're grade 8, but they're also a number 8 size. I'm going to put some big number 10s in to set this up on the table. And then then they give you these little bitty screws that are going to mount the controller underneath, which I'm also going to not use. They're not big enough. This is another set for the bottom bolts down here that we're just not going to use. These big washers out here, technically, I mean, this is enough, but these big washers could have went underneath this bolt right there, which maybe I'll change that out because that's probably a good thing so it's not scratching the paint all up. But so the rest of this stuff is not going to be used. This little guy right here, this is designed to go on your treadle so it can lift the go bar that's going up and down. But the way these new machines are, I'm just bolting this right to it. Right? I'm just going through one of the holes rather than using one of these brackets. So that's it for the K-leg. Stay tuned for the sewing machine head. All right, so update. I'm not going to change this video, but what I'm going to do is these guys got me again. As I was just saying that about this bar getting lifted up and down, these holes need to go on the back side back here. But the reason why I put it on wrong is because you've got this plate. And look, that says Consew. And the Consew is in the right direction. That was going this way. They did that on the last one too, so it got me. I've got to loosen this up and turn this thing around so that these holes on the back side of here are to the back of the machine. And then these things just push right in. They're just plungers, push it right in. So if you notice that in the video or not, to make sure that the bolt holes are on the back side.